So, how do you actually unfreeze your nervous system when it's experiencing a freeze response? If you've been following along for a little bit, we have a couple of episodes that have been leading up to what happens when you feel stuck. It can often be that freeze response in the nervous system. How do we invite God and prayer into that process? And today we're going to look at how do we actually unthaw, so to speak? How do we get out of that freeze response, that stuck place when our nervous system has hit that point of, I'm in the freeze response? My name is Kirsten Larsen, part of Whole Life Freedom. I'm a wholeness transformation coach, and I'm excited to bring this to you today because I know many who I've talked to have experienced that place of finding it really hard to move forward or experiencing that place of feeling frozen or feeling stuck on the inside, unable to move forward. And I know many times there's a lot of almost self-condemnation in that space where we feel like something must be wrong. Why can't I force myself to move forward? Is it lack of motivation? Is it lack of interest? Or is there just something wrong in my wiring? We looked at that a couple of episodes ago, and today we're going to look at what do we start to do when we notice and acknowledge that that's the response we're happening. And that's what we're going to go through in this episode today, because understanding it is truly the first response. When you think of really any place of being stuck, whether it's addictions all the way to patterns or habits, the first place of coming free is just awareness of what it actually is. Most of the time when we're repeating something, or stuck in something, we actually don't know what the true cause of it is. So when we can understand the freeze response, we can start to actually shift out of it, because bringing that shift into your body can actually help bring a great amount of relief. And here's the best news, hopefully, that you actually don't want to push yourself out of the freeze response. You want to actually anchor into a place of safety, anchoring into a place of finding that sense of calm and safety first, and then movement begins to happen, or you actually begin to unfreeze, as I like to say, or thaw out the place that has shut down on the inside. And if you can understand just one thing, and that's the one thing that you get from all of that, is that that freeze response is a form of protection. And it is really only moved forward by feeling safe. So many times when we're in that freeze response, because we've learned words like procrastination or lazy or unmotivated, we usually think that those are kind of the culprits. And so what we try to do is we try to push ourselves forward, to keep moving and to keep motivating ourselves and to try to become more disciplined or more pressurized or trying harder or grinding harder. And you know what happens in that place is when your nervous system senses that and feels that, everything begins to shut down even more. And that's a difficult space to be, because it can show up like deep fatigue. It can show up like you're unmotivated, even depressed. It can show up like you really just don't care anymore. And that's really not what's happening. And so we end up taking on that self-blame, and we end up feeling like a failure, when what's really happening is there's this body component that we just don't recognize, that our nervous system saying, I've just had too much. And for whatever reason, you might even be in a place where you're not experiencing a lot of intensity, but it could be connected to a feeling or a sense of what happened in the past. Doesn't necessarily have to be something that's going on today. You might be in the safest position of possible, but for various reasons. Maybe something that you're physically feeling, maybe something emotionally, maybe something spiritually, maybe there's something that looks or feels or smells similar to something in the past, and everything just goes, no, that was too much. We're going to shut that down so that you don't experience that again. And so one of the core elements is being able to separate what happened in the past to bring healing to those moments of what happened in the past. Many times we even might feel like what happened in the past was just in the past. I don't want to go digging up all of my past. I've heard that so many times. And I want to assure you that the idea is never to go digging up the past or even mulling over it. The idea is simply go to the places that need to be healed. Where did you need safety? Where did you need comfort? Where did you need hope? Where did you need life? Where did that shutdown response begin? Go back to that moment with God, with a trusted practitioner. If you know how to do it on your own, and help bring that felt sense of safety into that space. And that's ultimately what you need is not necessarily to go back through it. Sometimes you don't even have to go through a full memory to bring that felt sense to what happened in that space. Now, that's something that we don't hear a lot, but a trauma-informed way of doing it, you don't always have to even go back through the whole memory. What we need is our brain and body to know that moment or that experience is resolved, and it doesn't have to keep it actively playing like a tab that's open in your phone or computer. And so it's not draining your energy anymore, keeping it active, going, is that story still playing? And really, that's what we want to do, is close the loop of the stories that are playing. Now, it might be that the story is still currently playing. And so if that's the case, then we want to be able to bring all these tools into the same space. You don't necessarily need to look back at all the past moments. You might want to look at what might be happening in this current present season that's causing that shutdown. So either way, whether it's present moment or even thinking about the future or past moment, many times they're very interconnected. What actually starts to help that freeze response begin to thaw? Usually it's through a few experiences, and we've mentioned this a few times, but number one, feeling safe in the body. We cannot usually mentally press ourselves through it. And while it might seem counterintuitive, slowing down instead of speeding up. Now you might be saying, hold on, Kirsten, I've already slowed down by the freeze response. But see, what's happening is your body is going, no, shutting down, holding back, putting up walls, shutting things down, because a part of you is trying to still press forward. And when we can just invite that kind of stillness to slow down for a moment, doesn't have to be for a long time, and just listen. What's actually happening? What are we actually afraid of? What are we actually trying to be safe from? What are we actually exhausted from? What are we actually putting up those walls from? It takes a moment to just simply go, I'm listening. I'm listening to what's actually happening. It can be very surprising when we do that. And if you have that relationship with God, you can also sit and listen and go, okay, God, what right now is causing me to slow down, to pause, to not be able to move forward? What's happening inside of me that's releasing that? And then once we've slowed down, then and only then can we really begin to start creating some gentle, non-demanding movement. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean going out for a walk. That doesn't necessarily even mean moving your body. It does mean moving your body, but it doesn't mean that you have to go and do some strength training or exercises. Even like we've talked about in many moments, is moving your wrists, moving your neck, rolling your shoulders. Circular movements are really helpful because they actually communicate to the body that it's safe to continually move. And it's just fascinating the way that that body, that signal can communicate to your brain and body that there's movement and it's free to flow. And Another movement that can be very simple is just either standing, sitting, or laying down, putting your feet on the ground and just allowing your feet to scrunch your toes like you're taking a towel or some Play-Doh, and just really feeling the ground. That sense of being grounded can be really powerful for the nervous system to feel like I'm grounded. I'm not floating in the air, or I'm not, in this weird place. There's just a lot of signals that the nervous system needs to be able to feel like this atmosphere, this environment is safe. And that's where we can also integrate our five senses, because if your brain or nervous system is pulling information from a past moment or memory, we want to come into this present moment and just notice the things that you see. Sometimes we do a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, but sometimes that's a little too many things to remember. So if you think of 3, 2, 1, 3 things that you see, and just let your eyes fall on one thing at a time, notice it. And as you're noticing it, send that calm signal to your system. I'm here, I'm safe, I'm present in this moment. You can even pick something up and hold it and notice this is something that I feel, and I can feel the weight of it. Allow your nervous system to kind of come back online into the present moment. It's beautiful, isn't it? Right? So it's taken your brain and your body from a response from the past and bringing it into a physical, mental, emotional experience in this moment. You can look for things that you smell and look for things that you can physically feel, listen to things that you hear. And when you do any of those, you want to make sure it's just one at a time. So 3 things that you see, let your eye fall on one at a time. Take the moment in. This is the present moment. Listen to what's one thing that you hear. And it can be even, I don't hear anything. And that can actually be a very calming signal, because perhaps there's an association with sound from the past, and just being in the present moment, sending that calming signal to what am I hearing right now? It's bringing everything, like we said, back online in the present moment. And using our other senses, what are you feeling? Physically, let your body be in the present. You can also literally physically feel something to bring you back into the present moment. Those sensory experiences. So we talk about allowing the body to feel safe, letting your sensory experiences feel, touch, see, smell, and feel. Let it drop into your body that I am safe. I'm in a present moment. So different games that we might play would be find all of the blue objects in the room, or find all of the squares in the room and notice them, or even just simply describe the smells in the atmosphere if it feels safe and okay. Standing on the ground. We even can integrate a little bit of gentle tapping, placing a hand on the heart, just taking 2 fingers, just gently tapping right over your heart, just creates a gentle, safe rhythm, sends a calming signal to your brain and nervous system. I'm safe and okay. So you have quite a few things in that space, how to calm your system first. Feeling safe in your body, being present in the moment. I find it really interesting that many times we talk about being presence focused as Christians, being focused on the presence of God. But many times we also need to be present in the presence. We need to be present of what is he doing right here and right now? Where is God right here and right now? How can I find him right here and right now? And what that allows us to do is just become present in the present moment, so that whatever we were afraid of happening from the past, whatever we've been afraid of happening in the present, or even projecting into the future that our body is shutting us down from, we can take this moment and become anchored into the present moment with the presence of God. And just like Jesus would say, what is my Father doing? You can ask, what is Jesus doing? What's the Holy Spirit doing? What's the Father doing right now? just something very calm. After you've anchored your body, you've felt safe in the body, come into this moment and just be present in your body, in your mind, in your heart, and just present with what's God doing right now? What's He in this moment? It takes your brain and body into this place of, oh yeah, I am safe. I'm safe and protected with God with me right now in this moment. Feeling that sense of safety with Him that takes you out of this place of just simply knowing with your mind that He's there, simply having a thought that, okay, yeah, He's with me, but I don't actually tune into where He is or what He's doing right now. And as you do these things, you begin to actually thaw out that sense in your nervous system that says, I need to put on the brakes. And you start to kind of come through that place of the dorsal vagal shutdown into a place of, okay, I'm safe, I'm connected, and I'm okay to begin moving forward. So that freeze sense starts to heal through micro moments of safety. It can even be really helpful to go back through your day and notice little moments where you felt okay, where you felt safe, where you noticed you were okay. Many times when our brain is really hyper and online quite a bit, that's where that freeze response starts to come in, because it's just too much to be online and that alert that often. Maybe it was from a prior season. We were too alert too often. Could be in the present season. We're too alert too often. So having those calming moments of going right here and now, I'm safe and okay. It's a really great phrase to say, and to notice where you feel that safety in your body. I love saying with people that I work with, just going, where in your body can you feel either neutral or safe or calm? And sometimes it's like, okay, in this finger, I feel neutral right now. Then notice it. This finger is really safe. As weird as that sounds, or as funny as that sounds, it's very profound for your nervous system to find that place and that anchor. My finger feels really safe right now. That color blue feels really calming right now. And I can feel that calm in my chest. Bringing those places into different anchors creates a sense that, okay, it's important. God is with me. I'm present with Him in this moment. And I'm noticing where He is and how I'm noticing Him. Now, we all experience God differently. You may or may not even experience a felt sense of His presence. And so if that happens in those moments, that happens many times, especially in the freeze response. So I want to put that kind of statement in there. If you've experienced that freeze response and you go, I can't feel the presence of God, that's actually very normal, because the body brain has kind of shut down from all senses, because we're not sure what sense is okay to feel. But even the idea of tuning into a nature or aspect of God that you know you believe, don't try to force a belief. Don't try to create one just because it's biblical or just because you've heard it. What's one aspect of God that you can trust, that you can believe, and allow your heart to simply engage with that in the present moment? That's really important. When I experienced a lot of the freeze response, that was one of the hardest things for me. I couldn't experience the presence of God in any sort of capacity, even thinking about it. And so that was an anchor that I had, was a couple of areas of God or aspects of God that I knew I could anchor into. And so as we do that, we go, okay, I know that He is an ever-present help in trouble. I know that He is Emmanuel, God with us. I know that He is comforting, that He is life, that He is love. What area can you anchor into and allow that to become a felt sense in your body? And those places of restoration, those places of being present and being safe in the presence, is what begins to then soften and open us up to be able to move forward. Okay. And you know what? God is with you, whether you feel or sense him or not. He's right there in every moment. And that's a really important thing to simply become aware of, is as I can utilize these tools, help my nervous system and my body to come into a place of feeling safe and calm. It creates the openness to be able to move forward. And that openness to be able to move forward allows me to actually engage God in a very different way, in a really beautiful way. And so we don't want to necessarily put the cart before the horse. Even Jesus would often heal people physically and emotionally before he introduced who he fully was to people. And so there isn't a rush to say I need to feel his presence before I move forward. That's just an aside, because I know that that can be a very deep place where we really want to feel his presence. But if there's pieces of us that are stuck or frozen or shut down, we want to honor that shutdown, begin to utilize tools to help open up the safety of that part of us to move forward and open and be safe to move and breathe. And then we can engage that part with his presence. So we mentioned a few practices already that you can do. Another very gentle practice that you probably know if you've listened to me at any number of times is I just love the connection with our breath. And sometimes we want to really listen to our brain and our body with how we connect with our breath. It doesn't have to be anything intense or even emotional, just becoming aware. And one thing to do to create that sense of safety is just putting a hand on your chest. And that just creates an awareness of I'm safe, creates a sense of presence in your body, creates a sense of even connection to your heart. And just notice your breathing. Don't try to manipulate it or change it. Just follow your breathing and feel it in your body for a moment. Just drawing your breath through your nose, and just following it and just letting it gently expand. And what you want to do is just see if you can slow your breathing just a little. But really be attentive to, does slowing your breathing bump up your anxiety a little? If so, just find the rhythm that's most comfortable for you. Just noticing your breathing, noticing your heart, bringing your breath and just focusing on your heart for a moment. And then just notice the weight of your body, just the support, whether you're standing, sitting, or lying down, feel the support holding you. And just gently tune your awareness to the idea that God is with you. Whether you see, hear, feel, or sense him in any way, just the awareness. He is with me. And just notice any places in your body that softened just a little. Maybe your shoulders relaxed a little. Maybe your chest opened up a little. Maybe your legs relaxed a little. Just allow that softening to happen. That gentle softening is the freeze response beginning to thaw, so to speak. And what that means is there's a small shift happening. And because healing from the freeze response and shutdown doesn't happen all at once, it's a gradual process of gently moving forward with permission, letting the body and the brain begin to recognize moments of safety, that you're safe to move forward. I want to just invite you into something. That's exactly why I created just a mini course called Unfreeze. It's just a short, gentle, God-centered mini journey with a few different guided meditations and experiences, journaling, to really help those of you who might feel stuck or shut down, even burnt out or emotionally flat. It was a place that I personally experienced quite a lot of, that even showed up for me as fatigue and my brain shutting down, and just this place of feeling almost locked out from my own life. And there were so many dreams in my heart that I wanted to move forward in, But I both couldn't have the energy to press forward, and when I did, everything would shut down even more. And this little program is designed to be done in 7 days, but could be done over time. It's really not intense or emotionally processing, but it gives you some very simple steps and process to guide your nervous system back into a place of safety, aligned with God. And if any part of you felt relaxed or responded to this little mini series, I want to just invite you into that, and no pressure at all. As you know, we also have many meditations available, breathwork meditations available, as well as coaching available. But if you're interested, you can check out the links below, wholelifefreedom.com/unfreeze. But either way, my friend, you don't need to force your way forward through the freeze response or shutdown. And you certainly don't need to pressure yourself to heal. Your brain and body were beautifully designed by God, and all that it needs is a sense of safety, that it's safe to move forward. And you know what? God is actually really incredible at providing that sense. I want to just reassure you that no part of you is broken, and you don't have to do this alone. And so I just bless every part of you. I bless your body, soul, and spirit to find that sense of safety, to find the warmth in God's presence,